Hey there, fight fans. In today's video, is Dvalishvili versus O'Malley Part 2 on the horizon? UFC fans react to a rematch rumor.
We are here in Paris. We just finished a good sparring session with Stephen Lee.
Plus, Alexander Volkanovski is facing some serious backlash. Fans are slamming his title demands after recent knockout losses.
We've already talked to the UFC, obviously, the title fight. I'm fighting for the title fight, and that's sort of what it was always going to be.
Also, Nickal responds to being called a disappointment by an angry fan. But that's not all. Will Jon Jones step into the octagon against Tom Aspinall before hanging up his gloves? UFC analysts are calling it a fight that must happen. And then at the end of this video, Pereira's new official look for UFC 307. So without further ado, let's get started. Merab Dvalishvili has stirred up excitement by offering Sean O'Malley a rematch at UFC 309 in November. In a post on X, Dvalishvili addressed rumors that O'Malley believes he won their previous fight and challenged him to settle it once and for all at Madison Square Garden on November 16th. If he wants it, he can have it. Let's do it in November, and then I'll still defend the title against whomever the UFC wants me to fight next, wrote the Georgian fighter. However, Dvalishvili's call-out has sparked a new wave of backlash from fans who accuse him of avoiding a fight with a Dagestani contender. Some fans criticized Dvalishvili, suggesting he is trying to avoid the tougher matchup and instead chasing a payday by seeking a rematch with O'Malley on a high-profile card like Jones versus Miocic. Now, critics argue that champions should defend their titles against the #1 contender, and in this case that could be Umar Nurmagomedov. While Merab Dvalishvili has consistently stated that he will fight anyone that the UFC puts in front of him, including the rising Dagestani star, fans remain skeptical. Some believe that he is trying to avoid a tough fight with Umar, opting instead to chase a lucrative rematch with Sean O'Malley. However, it is important to acknowledge Dvalishvili's track record. This is a fighter who has dismantled some of the best in the division, earning a reputation as one of the most relentless and durable competitors in the UFC. The word afraid simply doesn't fit his persona. Dvalishvili has consistently proven himself against top-tier opposition, and while fans may debate his choices, there is no doubt that he has the skills and courage to face anyone. The UFC often brings financial aspects into play, and fighters understandably take the opportunity to maximize their earning. Yet it's likely only a matter of time before Dvalishvili steps into the octagon with the next true #1 contender, regardless of who that may be.
Kisses?
The kisses against the cage, yeah. I mean, it's important. You don't want to be held against the cage and kissed. Let's see what we got from this position.
Okay, I'm choking.
Right. Nice, goes down. As soon as you feel, you gotta tickle him right away. Tickle him! Tickle him! Oh shit, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. You gotta go with the tickle against the kiss. That's it. Very easy, very simple.
Yeah.
Nickal, the three-time NCAA National Wrestling Champion turned UFC prospect, has faced criticism from some fans over his perceived inactivity. Despite impressive performances, including multiple first-round finishes since his debut on Dana White's Contender Series in 2022, some fans are growing frustrated with how infrequently he has appeared in the octagon. One particularly disgruntled fan took to X to express their frustration, labeling Nickal a complete disappointment due to his habit of finishing fights quickly but then not returning to the action for months. Bro, you are a complete disappointment. You finish all your fights within 2 minutes, take 0 damage, yet you go home, sit down for months at a time with all your hype and momentum dies. Why? Makes no sense whatsoever. This is why nobody is out here looking for you. This is why when you're fighting, nobody cares. You need to wake the F up because it's so damn annoying. Nickal, however, responded calmly, explaining that his development as a fighter is on track. "I'm training, brother," Nickal replied, "not like these other guys who sit on the couch when they're not in camp. I have been fighting professionally since June of 2022. Anyone else near my position has over a decade of experience and 3 to 5 times as many fights. I am on my own path and having fun. Just enjoy the show." Nickal is set to make his return at UFC 309 in Madison Square Garden on November 16th, where he will face submission specialist Paul Craig in what will be his toughest test yet. Fans are eager to see Nickal continue his rise and will be watching closely to see if he can continue his dominant performances. Former UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski has commented on the statement of the division's number 3, Diego Lopez, who made it clear that he wants to share the octagon with him in December. According to the Australian, he will only fight the Brazilian if the UFC championship belt is at stake. Volkanovski said this in an interview with Submission Radio.
We've already talked to the UFC. Obviously, the title fight. I'm fighting for the title fight, and that's sort of what it was always going to be, you know.
What would excite you more, the rematch with Pereira or Max, or this McGregor fight?
Yeah, so that's a tricky one. Because I mean, obviously, I want that match back with Ilya, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, because I don't know exactly what's happening in February. If Ilya wins, I don't even know where he would want to fight. I don't think, you know, I think they might be talking about maybe Sydney or something. I don't think Ilya is going to want to fight there. So who knows? How long is it going to be? Is he going to wait another 6-7 months? So I'll say Conor McGregor right now, because then I could still do Ilya straight after that.
However, this stance has left many fans confused and frustrated. Some argue that it doesn't make sense for Volkanovski, who is 1-3 in his last 4 fights, to demand a title shot, especially after suffering knockout losses in his recent bouts. Fans have pointed out what they see as hypocrisy, comparing Volkanovski's situation to fighters like Sean Strickland, who despite a controversial decision loss, had to fight another tough contender like Paulo Costa instead of getting a title opportunity. Fans have also raised concerns about Volkanovski's potential rematch with Ilia Topuria. If Volkanovski were to lose again, it would mark 4 losses in a row, including back-to-back defeats to the same opponents, which could significantly damage his standing in the division. So fans are questioning whether it makes sense for Volkanovski to be in the title conversation given his recent struggles in the octagon, and many are calling for more fairness in how title fights are determined in the UFC. But what do you think about all of this? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. During a Q&A on his YouTube channel, Tom Aspinall addressed the potential retirement of Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic following their highly anticipated bout. If both fighters were to retire, Aspinall believes the logical next step would be to face the winner of the upcoming fight between Alexander Volkov and Cyril Gane. His foresight ensures that he is prepared for any scenario, making sure that he is next in line for a title shot regardless of what happens with Jones and Miocic.
Jones and Stipe retire, who would you like to fight next?
If them two retire, which I think's quite likely, but I don't know, you never know. I think it only makes sense to fight the winner of Volkov and Gane.
How active would you want to be as a champ? And once you beat Jones, who do you see as a challenger to your belt?
There's loads of challengers, there's loads. But as far as activity, I think fighting twice a year is good as a champion. I think that's, realistically, that's decent, twice a year, yeah.
However, many fans and analysts remain confident that Jon Jones would not retire without facing Aspinall. Given Jones's competitive nature and desire to leave a lasting legacy, a clash between him and Aspinall could be the ultimate test before Jones does consider stepping away from the octagon.
I think that this kid is as dangerous for him as anyone he's ever been in there with, partly because he's the...
Não, agora eu tô ser concorrente dos rinhos agora, vou fazer minha própria marca, Poitin, nicotina, e, pô, vou fazer um sabor especial, vai ter sabor de açaí, né, pô, não, vou falar muito não, deixa.
So you guys don't know, but Alex is gonna launch his own nicotine pouch. It's gonna be rival Ozin, maybe açaí flavor. You got some good stuff cooking for you guys. You just stay tuned. Each pouch packs a punch.
Chama.
Practice.
Your sparring partner.
Ah!
Oh! Ah! Ah, don't do it to me. World class athlete.
That is all for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because it is very important to us. And thank you all in advance.